Hello and welcome along as the Cross Series League Racing Championship returns this week. It's round 6. Oh, hello, that's our leader. That's Peterson. And Ross is just headed past him. We've just seen him flash through there. And Turn 1 claims yet another victim. Round 10 of the championship, and everything to play for a few of our drivers. As
there it goes.
There we go. I think there's just all of a sudden the daylight has fallen off the cliff, and there's people absolutely everywhere trying to find their way round, off track, left, right, and centre. Gastel. You're hoping for certainly not a ghastly race, as he's, tell you what, he's really foisting coats up onto that high line. Cower melting for a much lower one as we go green here for the final time at Lima Land. I mean, when you saw those two coming together in your mirrors, surely it must have been a big weight gone from your shoulders.
I just kept my foot in it and I just kept going.
Spoken like a true pro. Bit of a question. Obviously, are you going to remain? You're going to come out in a week's time. We're going to see you out on track as we head to Alicia.
Yeah, I plan to be there unless we get another last-minute decision to go racing here in real life. That was why I wasn't here last week. We decided to make a last-minute decision to go do some racing, and yeah.
And how did you get on?
What's that?
How did you get on? Obviously, when you went, well, I say real-life racing a couple of weeks ago.
Trey, let me put this to you in American terms. How well did you do last weekend?
Oh, pretty good, I think.
Here come the lights. Let's get ready to go racing in Germany for the first time. And Clog, he's jumped the start there. He's going to incur a penalty. Bouncing across the curves, the pair of them. And Thompson's finally going to go the run on him. He's going to be up the inside on the run down to Kike turn. And surely this is going to be from the lead. He backs out of him. Schenkler runs wide. But Thompson's finally got it. But here comes Ham. He's right into it, and he wants to plate off Schenkler. He runs from Rob Holt in his route right in these last stages. Now let's get ready to go racing from Bristol in the grand final of round 5 of the XSLR Championship. And there's bang and Stein into the wall early.
After 15 rounds of great action, it all comes down to this one last tour here in the IR Beetle, VW Beetle Rally Cross car. And then this season will be completed. Welcome along to Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park for the round 16 of the XSLR Season 4 Championship. My name is Sebastian Bosher-Williams. Alongside me in the commentary booth, we have Alex Andersen, and on production, as ever, we have Jonathan Grabowski. Alex, welcome along for one final time this season. I think for the first time in this final leg of the season where we have had the dirt road, the rallycross cars, we've come to a track that's almost suited, almost designed for these types of cars. We should be in for an utterly enthralling season finale today.
Most certainly, of all the off-road short course tracks on iRacing, I would say for any of the oval fans out there, this is the Martinsville of those tracks. This is the short course of short course racing, just over half a mile long, very tight, very close quarters. It's going to lead to a lot of great racing from these drivers.
Have a look at practice underway. Paul Mikolajczyk, the fastest man on the circuit so far, the 38. He came back one race ago, had a great inaugural round in the dirt road section, hoping to do it all over again today. Jake Ham, another man that's been so quick this season, especially in the dirt road section. What can he do in the final outing today, I wonder? Qualifying gets underway. track gets reset, and we, Alex, get ready to go racing for one final time this season. Of course, it started all the way back in July. We had the road. I'm trying to like rack my brain. It sort of feels so far ago. The road course with the Aston Martin GT4s, and we've just come so long. Every single race this season, Alex, has been utterly enthralling.
Most certainly. All the races have been extremely entertaining to watch. I mean, I've been here since the last Race the Road section covering this series, and it's been just such a fun series to cover with all these drivers. All of them, they're all great friends. They all know each other super well, and it's really nice to see them come to wits on a racetrack, especially like this for the final race of the season. It's going to be a good one for sure.
Kevin Irwin then heading down towards turn number 3. Goes over the bumps. I mean, we're still not necessarily in typical rallycross tracks, are we, Alex? The bumps are super aggressive, so easy to end up facing the wrong way if you land poorly. Irwin there, well, proving the point, ending up facing the outside bank, not going to help his lap time at all. And yeah, once again, we're at more of a pro trucks track, but these drivers, they don't seem to mind. In fact, I think they might enjoy the bumps more than maybe they would a traditional rallycross circuit.
I would say the off-road tracks are a lot more fun in these cars than traditional rallycross circuits. They're usually a lot more wider than the iRacing rallycross tracks. There's a lot more room for passing and a lot more room for racing and different lines to come into play. So, I mean, it's so much fun to watch these cars shoot around these off-road tracks like this, especially how on tracks like Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, there's that massive jump on the front straightaway that these drivers are going to launch into as they head towards turn number 1. It's going to be absolutely thrilling. But Adam Thompson on provisional pole at the moment.
Saw Jimmy Howard really struggle actually to make it over the bumps. Ended up in the runoff area in the inside of turn 1, not what he would have been hoping for in his qualifying attempts. As we ride on board with the provisional pole sitter, Adam Thompson heads over the bumps in to the long left-hander of turn 2. Thompson, sorry, that's turn 1, getting all mixed up in the commentary booth already. That's not necessarily a great sign. Thompson improves ever so slightly, the first man into the 38-second mark. Clog sets the new fastest middle sector, can go almost to the top of the timing stands. Only 0.05 of a second slower than Adam Thompson. Kevin Irwin, another man who's out on a mission at the moment, the number 7 car. But surprisingly, Alex, you know, Jake Ham, a driver that's been really quick so far in this final part of the season, struggling to find any pace, currently sits in 4th. We ride on board with him as he makes his way around turn 4. But yeah, Ham just not having the pace that we would have necessarily expected from him.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit behind the wheel of his Volkswagen Beetle, but diverting from that ever so slightly, I do want to mention that Paul Mikolajczyk just sent me a message saying to inform everybody he will be taking a fun EOL for this race, and that means that on purpose he's going to start in the back and try and work his way to the field. So we'll have to see if he can pull that off and try and come home with the win, as he was also fastest in practice by quite a while.
He was the man to be in practice. Will he be the man to be under racing conditions? Another man that's not out on the track at the moment, who is in the session, is Tim Cox. Tim also had a fairly difficult practice session. Found himself into the barriers a few times or so. So he hasn't taken to the qualifying session either. As we see Jake Ham a little bit... had a little bit of an incident, didn't he, and ended up sideways across the track. James Keir, the slowest driver on the circuit at the moment. He'll be hoping to improve and to make his way a little bit further up the field, but I don't think that will happen, not judging by his lap time. So everybody, I think, that wanted to get a qualifying lap in, Alex, has now completed said qualifying lap. So we've got 8 drivers heading in to the final race of the season, a good grid, and we are, I keep on saying it, but it's true, in for such an enthralling race for one final time here in this season.
Yeah, definitely. All the other off-road races in this part of the XSLR Championship have been absolutely thrilling. Now, I reckon with how small and close quarters this track is, it's going to be all the same. But starting grid coming up shortly, as qualifying has just ended.
As you mentioned, Alex, we've ticked over into the race session and we can shortly bring you your grid for the final time, or for the first race today. Adam Thompson will start on pole, Josh Clogg alongside him on the front row. Kevin Irwin starts in third alongside Jake Ham, who starts in fourth place. Jimmy Howett starts in fifth alongside James Keir. Paul Mikolajczyk starts seventh, and Tim Cox is your eighth and final starter in today's race. And you know, Alex, you're so much more of the expert in the commentary booth, but as I understand with how the rules are shaping up, with the amount of drivers that we've got, we'll have what we've had for the last three rounds of the dirt road section. We'll have two races today. We're going to have this first sprint race that sort of determines the grid for the feature race. So we're not going to have to worry about a heat format. So as I understand it, as I said, Alex, only two races tonight.
Most certainly it's going to be this 5-lap race, and I presume maybe a 10 or 12-lap race for the feature. Yep, just check. It's going to be a 12-lap feature race. And that will lead us to our official starting, or we will be led to our official starting grid come the end of this race. And it's going to be a very entertaining 5 laps, I promise you that. But then there's another thing that I want to speculate about. We've seen in all the other off-road races in this part of the championship where the drivers seem to have a gentleman's agreement where they all slow down for each other at about the halfway point of the race. Do you think they're going to do that again tonight?
I think if, yeah, I think, to be honest, Alex, I think they will. They tend to like to spice it up a little bit, and you know, it is a gentleman's agreement, isn't it? They all like to just enjoy the racing, and that's exactly what we like to see. Tim Cox, well, he's seeing a lot out of his window at the moment, but not much of the racetrack, getting a great view of the iRacing skybox and the great cloud modelling that we have in iRacing. This is the view, though, from Adam Thompson, your pole sitter. 8 cars on the grid. We are about to go racing for the first time today, and it's a good start from your pole sitter, Adam Thompson. Clogg gets away well. In fact, everybody gets away fairly evenly. Tim Cox, though, making his way past Paul Mikolajczyk, the only overtake so far. Oh, there's a car sideways, almost wall riding. That's 5th place man, Jimmy Howett. Oh, he's all sideways heading into the braking zone of turn 2 as they head over the bump for the first time. Of asking Adam Thompson, though, wide, and that's allowed Josh Clogg to send it to the inside. Slight contact between the top 2, but Josh Clogg up into the lead of this race. Thompson a little bit hesitant heading in to turn 3. That got him a little bit wide, Alex, and Josh Clogg seized upon that opportunity.
Yeah, and Adam just couldn't get that run off turn at number 4 there, having to run the inside line. Josh was easily able to take the lead around the outside. They were pretty much side by side for that entire first lap, as it looks like the field back here, looks like Paul isn't pushing this car just yet. Wants to prop. Oh, wow, the entire field's around. Josh Clogg gonna run away with this lead now. Jimmy Howard in a second, Kevin Irwin in third. Now more contact. Kevin Irwin gets sent around. Adam Thompson's in it as well. The rest of the field continues to pile in. That's 2 massive wrecks in just 1 lap.
Huge drama here today. Then Clogg leads from Howard. Jake Ham in third, and this is what unfolded. So this is Jimmy Howard heading down towards turn number 1. So he's going to go wide. So I think Adam Thompson's already spun, hasn't he? Sorry, that's turn 2.
Yeah, that was turn 2.
So turn 2, it's all very similar. And then we had another incident heading in to turn 3. As we head towards live pictures, Kevin Irwin now finds himself down in 6th place, but he's in the wall. He's wall riding around the outside. That's a very unconventional line, but he will manage to just about, secondary contact with James Keir. You're right, Alex, is certainly NASCAR-esque, and Kevin Irwin, he's found his... it's all gone wrong for him. I've run out of words to describe Kevin Irwin's lap so far. He's been sideways, he's been backwards, he's been almost upside down. But this man, Josh Clogg, has had no such issues, currently leading by 1.6 seconds on Alex.
It's got Jimmy Howard. I mean, Jimmy is... I'm not sure if maybe Josh slowed down after realizing how many wrecks occurred on the second lap, but Jimmy's been able to hold this gap surprisingly close compared to what we've seen in practice and qualifying. So Jimmy's doing a really good job following Josh, but it looks like with a 2-second gap now to the car behind, this is going to be an easy win for Josh. Just needs to hold it together for 1 more lap, but there still is a race in the midfield.
really tight battles. Tim Cox, Kevin Irwin, James Keir all so close for comfort. Down the inside goes Kevin Irwin, taps Tim Cox, forces him to go wide as they head over the start-finish line towards turn 1. Tim Cox a little bit wide heading in to turn 1. Will that allow Kevin Irwin the run to make his way past the British driver? As we head up towards turn number 2. Once again, Tim Cox running just a little bit wide. That's not going to help his cause. That's not going to help him stay in 5th spot. It's Josh Clark climbs across the line to win. Well, he's had a little bit of a mare heading into turn 1, but it doesn't matter. He's already got the race win. Jimmy Howard finishes in 2nd. Jake Ham 3rd. Adam Thompson in 4th. Around the outside goes Kevin Owen. At the final time of asking, he'll cross the line. A supreme move by Kevin Owen makes his way past Tim Cox. Owen 5th. Tim Cox in 6th. James Keir 7th, and Paul Mikolajczyk rounding out your 8-car grid. Alex, I don't quite know what went on there, but I think it was a good race there.
I don't know. That was, despite the 2 pileups in the second lap, it was a very entertaining race. Here's your starting grid for our feature. Josh Clog on pole, then Jimmy Howard in 2nd, Jake Ham 3rd, Adam Thompson P4, Kevin Irwin in 5th, Tim Cox 6th, James Keir in 7th, and Paul Mikolajczyk gonna once again start from the rear, see if he can work his way up from 8th. But that was very entertaining. Despite the 2 massive pileups on the second lap, there was still a lot of racing action, especially that battle between Kevin Irwin and Tim Cox. I'll be looking to see what they can do in the feature race, because this is where it's really all going to come down to.
Points are awarded here. And now we're about to go racing for the final time this season. 16 rounds of incredible racing across all 4 disciplines on iRacing. And it all comes down to one final race around the world. Of course, Motorsports Park. Josh Clog then on the pole. Alongside him is Jimmy Howard. As we get ready to go racing, it's a good start from your pole sitter. In fact, Jake Hammond 3rd got the best launch out of anybody. He's going to try and send it to the inside, try and make his way past Jimmy Howard. Howard, though, holds it around the outside. Contact is made, and Ham is forced wide, and he's fallen all the way down to the back of the grid. Paul Mikolajczyk then, the first overtake of his campaign. Tim Cox wipes out Adam Thompson. Tim Cox goes wide and hits the outside barrier for good measure. Will that be damage for Tim Cox? I think he'll just about get away with that. Thompson, though, once again in the wars. Your pole sitter in today's race has not been able to convert that into any meaningful points. Your championship winner as well, I should say. Thompson and Irwin still side by side as they head over the bump to cross the line. First lap of racing completed. Clog leads Howard, leads Irwin, leads Thompson, but it's all up for grabs once again, Alex.
Definitely is. Jake Ham still doing a pretty decent job maintaining this gap. Oh, somebody's flipping back there. Somebody went tumbling down. I think that might have been Jake Ham all the way at the back of the grid. I'm not sure what he just did, but I could have sworn as the field came towards turn 2, he was just tumbling out of turn 1.
You are perfectly spot on there, Alex. He's going to actually make contact with one of the back markers. I do believe that's James Keir that he's had a little bit of an issue with. And, well, Jake Ham's race goes from bad to worse. Started in 3rd, made his way up to 2nd before turn 1, and ends up running in an 8th and last place. This is your battle for 2nd place. Josh Clog running away with this lead so far. Thompson needs to find his way past Jimmy Howard, but Thompson is wide. And he gets collected by Kevin Owen. Thompson gets sent around. When Tim Cox arrives onto the scene, T-bones Adam Thompson, and Thompson sees his race-winning chances fall away. And Tim Cox, well, I think Tim, once again, has been in the wars more than not so far in today's race, but currently finds himself on the last step of the podium, but with a very, very fast man behind him. Paul Mikolajczyk, Alex, he's had a great start. 4 laps into this race, he's already up 4 places. That's 1 overtake a lap. That's fairly good going.
Yeah, and he will be in a great position for the restart if these drivers do eventually slow down for each other at about the halfway point. That will probably be at around lap 6 or 7, so Paul's going to be in a great spot to challenge Josh Clog for this lead. once that restart does happen. So so we have to look forward to, it looks like, yeah, now he's going for the move on Tim Cox as they head through turn number 4. Tim getting a little wide. These two will be side by side down the front straightaway over the main jump. Paul going to concede the spot. Let Tim have it. He'll go back to the inside through 1. Not able to get it done so far.
Tim Cox still in third. Paul Mikolajczyk, though, just able to drive the lines that he wants to do, not being forced wide as Tim Cox once again goes oh so wide through turn 2 as we head towards turn 3. And Tim Cox now finds himself behind Paul Mikolajczyk. Mikolajczyk, though, almost 8 seconds off the back of Jimmy Howett. So a big ask, a big tall order for Paul Mikolajczyk to maybe make another position in this race. 6 laps out of the 12 laps gone. The final race of the season going by oh so quickly. Committed though into the final corner was Tim Cox. He had full steering lock in there while he was still mid-air. Supreme commitment by the 340 driver. Irwin starting to get a little bit interest in taking the place away from Tim Cox. Once again, Alex, Tim, oh so wide of the mark through turn 2. And that's just going to allow Kevin Irwin a great opportunity to make the move as Cox is a little bit wide. And surely by the time that they reach turns number 4, Kevin Irwin will be ahead of Tim Cox as they make contact, and Tim Cox almost loses the rear of the car, and Kevin Irwin up into 4th place, Alex.
It was a very, oh wow, and it looks like maybe Tim Cox and Kevin Irwin contacted in turn 1 there. It looked like it was a very well-placed slide job from Tim there in turn 3. Here's another angle of it. It looked like, this pass for the lead, so it looks like, I'm not sure if they were trying to do the, I'm not sure. Oh, so it looks like, yep, they were trying to do the restart. Looks like Jimmy Howett just ended up accidentally taking the lead. Not sure if Josh Clog's going to just try and grab it back from him, but as the field gets back together, this is where this race is going to get interesting. So we have one of the fastest, or the fastest driver all night. He was fastest in practice, probably could have gotten pole and won the heat if he had qualified. Paul Mikolajczyk currently P3, and he's right behind your current leader, Josh Clog. So, I mean, and there's Jimmy Howett as well. So, as they come down the front straightaway, I think they'll be restarting right here, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be very enthralling, or they might do one more pace lap and then get going again. Oh no, there they go.
The way right now, Alex. Tim Cox to the inside, hits Kevin Irwin. Once again, those two make contact in this race. Howard leads Clog, leads Mikolajczyk. Oh, Cox comes in and absolutely cream crackers half the field. Howard leads from Ham. Oh, and they're still crashing a car on his side. On his roof goes Kevin Irwin. Tim Cox,
Tim's gone.
where are you going, Tim? Because he's back towards turn 1. He enjoyed it so much that he has to do it twice. Jimmy Howett leads by 3.4 seconds from Josh Clog. Jake Ham is in 3rd. Alex, wow, we wanted a little bit of action for the final round, but wow, I think we've had that in spades so far.
I'm seeing shades of Danny Kvyat out here. I nothing against him, but that was a massive send into turn number 2 on the restart. Ended up cleaning out half the field, and now it's a game of chase as Josh Clog is going to have to try and catch up to Jimmy Howett. It looks like Josh definitely has superior pace right now, but Jimmy does have that 2.5 second advantage. So when they come back to the line, it'll be 3 laps to go, and the chase will be on to see if Josh Clog can get back to the lead.
So all eyes focused on that gap between Jimmy Howett and Josh Clog. 2 seconds separates the top two. Last lap for Howett, a 40 flat, 38.7 for Josh Clog, as that's James Keir. A little bit adrift off the mark. I wonder if that's contact with Adam Thompson, who rejoined your battle for the lead. In fact, let's have a look. Oh, no, so it was contact with Thompson, but wasn't Adam Thompson's fault whatsoever. Mikolajczyk there spinning out James Keir. And I think at this point, Alex, we can safely say that everybody so far has had their dramas in today's race. But this battle between Clog and Howett looking really interesting. Sorry to go across to you.
Oh, no problem. I would say so, yeah. A lot of dramas between each driver currently this race. And with 2 to go, Josh Clog has gotten this gap down to about a second. You can see Josh Clogg's lap was about 9/10 faster that time by, so Josh is closing this gap, and we just have to see if he can get close enough to make a move on the final lap, but only about 6 corners left in the whole season as they head through turns 3 and 4. It looks like it was a pretty decent corner for Jimmy Howard as Josh Clogg hasn't closed up all that much this lap, so through turn 4, Jimmy Howard is going to take the white flag on the final lap of the season. Can Josh Clogg close the gap?
Jimmy Howard go for what would be an extraordinary race win. I think he might have even technically gotten the overtake done under safety car conditions, but that won't matter to Jimmy Howard whatsoever. Clogg, though, chasing as we have a look at Josh Clogg. He's a little bit wide, heading in to turn 2, and that might just see his opportunity to get the race win fall by the wayside. Jake Ham in 3rd, starting to catch up, in fact, on Josh Clogg. That gap remains stubborn at just over 1 second. Howard only has about a corner and a half to go if he wants to get the race win. As we round the final corner of the season to cross the line, it will be Jimmy Howard who finishes first and gets his first win of the season. Josh Clogg in 2nd, Jake Ham in 3rd. Kevin Irwin will finish in 4th, and the post-race celebration start early. 5th place goes to Paul Mikolajczyk. Adam Thompson will finish in 6th, and James Keir will come across the line in 7th place. And that's it. Alex, we have done a whole season, the 4th season of the Cross Series Racing League, and what a season it has been. It certainly had its highs. I don't really think it's had many lows. Every single week we have had utterly enthralling action, and that was a neat package, a neat little bow that we can tie on this championship, because that race certainly had it all. And I think drivers might need a few weeks just to recover from that race. And I tell you what, Alex, seeing it is the season finale, take us through your feature race results.
Well, Jimmy Howard gets a very nice victory over Josh Clogg. Just Josh couldn't not close that gap. He'll finish 2nd. Jake Ham there in P3 gets a podium to finish out the season. Great for him. Kevin Irwin continues the string of great results there in P4. Paul Mikolajczyk ends up 5th. Looks like the comeback not able to happen from him. James Kieran 6th. Adam Thompson already locked up the championship, but he'll finish his season 1 lap down in 7th. Then Tim Cox looks like he did not turn another lap after that restart, ends up 8th, 5 laps down, and that's it. Season 4 of the XSLR Championship has come to a close.
As we see Kevin Irwin get stuck in the barrier. Surprised we didn't see that actually during the race itself. It was a common occurrence during practices. Tim Cox, I think, was trying to make his way towards the outside of the circuit. Couldn't quite get there in the end. Just going to wait a few more moments to see if we can have a chat to our race winner, and thankfully he's just turned up in the media pen, so we can immediately bring in Jimmy Howard into the commentary booth. Jimmy, welcome along. Well, that race had it all. I don't know if you saw the carnage behind you, but hey, you got a race win in the final race of the season. You must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Watching my mirror a couple times was pretty entertaining, but the racing was good too.
It certainly looked that way. Would you say it's a good combination, the VW Beetle and Wild Horse Motorsports Park?
It's a great track. I love the track, but if that car was ever on the table again, I think I'd get sick the weekend and not make the race again.
Well, I could see why.
And I own a Volkswagen.
Oh, don't we all? I don't know why I said that. It's super late, Jimmy. What a season it's been. Of course, 16 rounds. You must be pretty happy with how your season's gone.
Yeah, it was a nice little send-off. A lot better than Daniel Ricciardo's.
Wow, it certainly was. Would you rate it as good of a send-off as Sebastian Vettel's?
Slightly better because I won the race, but nobody gave me a standing ovation or nothing, so probably not as good.
Here, I'll give you one right now. I got you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, now I'm
Here
standing
we
above
go.
my car. We're good.
Well,
There we
standing
go.
ovation in the commentary booth. Jimmy, congratulations on your race win. Before we let you go and celebrate, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to at all?
Mick Schumacher for going out in a blaze of glory, and the Raiders for winning today. That's it.
Brilliant.
You aren't gonna give Seb a nice send off. You give one to Mick, but not
He
to
got
Seb.
one,
Come
bro.
on.
He got one, okay? Way better than what I can get. Hey, relax.
I
Relax.
prefer MotoGP. Thank you very much.
MotoGP, bro. Pecco's better than Fabio. That's all I gotta say.
That's true. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Once again, congratulations on your race win. Alex, have you managed to find another driver to have a chat to?
I most certainly have. I managed to find our third place driver, Jake Ham. And Jake, I mean, a great P3 to round off the season for you. Hasn't been the best stretch of races on the off-road championship, but you end off the season and the final race of the dirt road section with a podium. How's it feel?
Fantastic. I'm super glad that this is all over.
Well, I can't say the same, honestly. It looked like it is a lot of fun to cover from the commentary booth, and it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like y'all were just messing with each other out on track. It looked like a lot of fun. But do you like the combo of bringing these small, not very powerful rallycross cars to these big old trophy truck tracks?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I finally started getting the hang of it. This is the 4th or 5th time I've raced these cars. So, but I'm glad to see them go away. I'm not gonna lie. So,
All right, well, they might be back next season for you. I'm not gonna lie, but if they are back next season, what are you gonna do then?
just suck it up and do my best.
All right, fair enough. Well, anybody you want to thank before we let go? I mean, it's just a great race from y'all.
Yeah, want to obviously, slow motion broadcasting. Thanks for all the awesome streams. Love to go back and watch it. Want to thank Tim Cox for taking out everybody every week, and this time not taking me out. And it was a good time.
All right, well, unless Seb has something for you, it looks like that is all I have for you tonight. So congrats on the podium, my friend. Hopefully, we can see you maybe on the top step of the podium next season in the XSLR Championship. So good luck then, and congrats on the P3.
Thank you.
Now, was Jake Ham your third place podium finisher? It looks like we have not seen Josh Clog pop in yet, but Seb, that was just absolutely brilliant race.
It certainly was. Well, I think it would be remiss if we didn't have a quick chat to your champion of today's series, I should say. Welcome to the commentary booth once again, Adam Thompson. Wow, what a season it has been for you. It's fair to say the final race not necessarily gone to plan. At least you got a pole position to show for it. I think. Did you have some stern words to Tim in the interview waiting room, because he wasn't necessarily your best friend today?
Well, I have a question for you, Sebastian, and this is solely for you because I know you're British.
He's got the bad mic.
Yeah. Oh, I do have the bad mic. But you're gonna have to deal with it. Do you guys bowl over there?
We do.
Okay. I didn't know because Tim almost scored a perfect strike. He missed second and first, but that was almost a perfect strike on Tim's part. So, yeah, great job. Great job for him.
It was very, very impressive. It's the first time I've ever used the term cream crackered in commentary, and I think I think it was necessary. So, I mean, how does it feel with the season coming to an end? Of course, you are the league organizer. It's been 16 incredible races. You must be really proud to have another season under your belt.
I am. It's we actually had a driver's brief here before this race, and I'm not going to get all sappy with you guys, but we started it like towards the beginning of COVID, really before we ever knew that the world was going to go into absolute panic. So we got through that, and we've had our fair share of issues, people getting at each other, as you do in racing leagues. But to the people that have stuck around, I mean, and this isn't what you would call this. I don't spend all of my time on this league, right? I want to make it great. I want to see it better than 7 drivers driving around on a track, but this isn't something that I would say is ever going to get huge. So for people to just stick around and want to, this is my company, right? Yeah, this is my company.
Yes.
Then want to just talk shit on a Sunday night and have a drink or two, and just have a good time, and that's really what we're out here to do. And the fact that we've been able to do that for 4 seasons, going on 5 starting December 11th is really something awesome. And we're racing the Radical SR8s for 8 races next season, so that should be quite a bit of fun.
It's gonna be funny. I saw the schedule. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, it should be an absolute blast.
It certainly should be. I'm absolutely gutted that I will not be here to be commentating on it, because I would have loved to see some radical action around Daytona. We're currently just watching some of your replays, and I think, Adam, you might have spent most of this race facing the wrong way, but not of your own accord. But I mean, you're the champion. Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't. So I heard Jimmy came in here for the first interview, and he basically flamed all the retirees and asked how that win felt. Well, Jimmy, this one, I'm gonna shout this one out to you, man. Maybe I didn't win my last race, but I sure as hell have won a lot more than you have, my man. So yeah, so there it is. Congratulations to all the F1 retirees, by the way. I'm not gonna be Jimmy. I'm the nice admin. He's not, but. Really quickly, Seb, you said something, and I wanted to bring this up. Seb, I know you got other things going on with schooling, and just trying to turn your life, get back to a certain spot in your life where get back to a spot in your life where you're happy with yourself, man. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work and your dedication here to Slow Motion Broadcasting, and and to XSLR. You raced a couple times, and I can definitely say that I see you more as an acquaintance. If you ever find yourself over here in the United States, man, please feel free to give me a shout out. We'll go find a bar or two.
Sounds like a plan. I've officially hit acquaintance status. Well, thank you so much for the opportunities, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And do not forget, Adam, that I do have a 50% win record in the XSLR season, and I will be coming to try and better that as much as possible.
So, Seb, I wanted to bring Tim in here real quick, because these last couple races, he has shown his commentator side. And I wanted to know if you had a few words for Tim, Seb, on how to not race like he's still trying to take over the United States.
Wait, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta point this out real quick. If anybody is paying attention to the broadcast right now, I just saw John change Tim's little title card above his name to bowling champion. That's amazing.
John,
I don't mean to interrupt, but that's great.
Jonathan A, brilliant. Tim, I for the first time in commentary, I used the term cream crackered. You cream crackered half the field today. Not necessarily the best way of getting race results is my pro tip, but I mean, it's certainly a strategy.
Well, that's what all part of being a bowler is. Just gotta throw your keys in the bowl and go for it. That's it.
So it was on brand. It was part of your team branding, was it?
It was, yes. We're called Jeans Bowl, and we're all bowlers. And as we got Daniel Ricciardo to say, sometimes you just gotta throw the keys in the bowl and go for it. That's it.
Wait a minute. So this joke that I made about you bowling, you actually bowl, Tim?
No, we're just called Jeans Bowl. It's a meme that I can't explain on stream.
Okay.
It's a not safe for work explanation, I think, is the politest way to put it. And I know that you keep on talking about this Daniel Ricciardo quote, but as far as I'm aware, he said it under duress. So I don't think you can claim anything to it, Tim.
He liked the idea, thought it was hilarious, and came home on his word. That's all I'm saying.
So will we see you? I'm going to completely change the subject. Are we going to see you for next season in the Radicals?
Oh, yes, Radicals. Looking forward to Monza. Like mad. I was the one who suggested it to Adam. He didn't know they existed, thought they'd be rubbish, and has fallen in love with them. So I could take all the claim to fame for that one.
Well, after these last 2 races, Tim, I don't know if I want to take any more of your suggestions. I'm definitely not going to listen to what you have to tell me on track because you're just going to turn me into you, and nobody wants that.
Exactly. Exactly. Those that can't do it talk about it, and that's probably why I'm in the commentary booth more than racing.
Do you guys want an impromptu boxing ring? 'Cause I can set one up real fast. I'll be the ref. We got it.
So the reason I kind of wanted to do this is before the race started tonight, one of the other admins, Randall McGrew, said, are we going to have a fist fight at the end? And I was like, virtual fist fight. So this is what I'm trying to do. So, Jonathan, I don't know if you caught there at the end. I waited for Tim to come out of the pits. Waited for the checkered flag, obviously, because I would have been the last one to cross it because Tim was 2 laps down because he doesn't know how to drive around 5 corners of a racetrack. So as he turned into turn 1, we did like a little side-by-side finish. And then I turned left into him and I said, this one's for America. So yeah, there you go, Tim. That one was for America, my friend.
So this is going to be Rocky 4, but Russia's going to be swapped with Great Britain.
Exactly.
I'm left speechless.
So am I, Tim. So am I. As part
We're going to war.
Booth, fairly regularly. I don't think that's ever happened that we're both speechless at the same time.
Exactly.
We'll chalk that up to a new experience. But thank you to you, Tim, and Adam as well for providing with great entertainment. And congratulations to Adam, of course, your season 4 champion. Before we both let you go, I'll open it up to both of you. Anybody, firstly, Adam, that you'd like to give a shout out to at all?
Well, I've already shouted you out, Seb, but again, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done and all the help that you've given us. On the SMB side, especially, it's been just putting your time in when you didn't have to, and yeah, we may have had a few fair arguments, but in the long run, man, you have been nothing but a massive help to me. So good luck on your future endeavors, man, and you always got a place to come back to if you want to come back. Alex, same for you, man. You've been with us since the beginning, so thank you so much for everything you've done for SMB and Cross Series League Racing, for spending your Sunday nights here watching 7 cars drive around a track. Jonathan, same for you. I know this is the only one you broadcast here for Slow Motion Broadcasting, but thanks for putting the time in and spending some time with us when you should be spending it with your wife. So yeah, man, thank you. Oh, also, speaking of my wife, holy crap. Thank you, Sarah, for letting me do this. And, my friends and family and all of that.
Oh, thank you very much, Adam. And the same question to you, Tim. Anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yes, I'd like to thank out. Who would I like to thank? I'd like to thank what they called Wilson Naming Services, Child Naming Services, that is, and also I'd like to thank Cochran for all of his many memes, and Busby for his love of Wales.
I'm sure that they all had perfectly innocent connotations there, Tim. I'm sure it was all wholesome.
I'm going to say one more thing. He can't thank the Queen anymore. I'm done. I'm leaving. Peace out, guys. Thank you for all your help.
Adam. So Adam might have just stolen Jimmy's thunder.
No, I think what Jonathan just said in our ears was much worse. I hope that didn't go out on the broadcast.
Oh,
Adam,
I didn't hear it.
I'll explain to you, Alex. It's a British thing. It's a British thing. Well, I think that concludes this season. It's been an absolute pleasure from the commentary booth, and it's fitting that we've also got Tim in the commentary booth as well. Of course, Tim, you covered the start of the season. I'll open it up very quickly to everybody. Alex, firstly, what's your favourite moment from the championship?
Oh shoot, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Alex, I'll come back to you because I'm sure that as soon as I go to Tim, he'll have an answer right there. Tim, what was your favourite moment for when you were we would swap positions and you were in the commentary booth?
Oh, good question. I would say it was good, commentating on your win. So early in this, as you mentioned earlier, 50% win ratio, and I mean the dirt ovals. They're always a great fun. Especially, last season more so with the midgets, but this season always a bit of a point of controversy. But yeah, always great fun in those. It's entertainment for us in the commentary booth anyway.
And for me, I think it's got to be the race at Long Beach, all the way back towards the start of the season with that massive swing in positions on the final lap. That was what got us all interested in the season. And Alex, have you managed to think about any of your particular favourite moments?
You better think about this very hard before you answer, Alex.
I think we might have just lost Alex's connection, which I think might be a little bit fitting. So, Adam, seeing as you're here, take Alex's place. What was your favourite moment from the championship?
Going back and watching all the streams is definitely the most fun. Listening to Tim. Well, so Jonathan just said something, and I didn't win that much. I was consistent. And to all you guys in XSLR still watching the stream, be consistent and don't be a Tim. Just kind of race and be a good person. But my favorite part of the season, first of all, was having Tim join and race with us, and then having him quote the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on stream for his interview was probably the funniest moment that I've heard or seen in quite a long time.
That certainly was a highlight as well. Wow, I think that is us done from the Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. My name has been Sebastian Bosher-Williams. Alongside me in the commentary booth, we have had Alex Andersen. And on production, we have had Jonathan Grabowski. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate on this season. We'll be back in a few weeks' time when Season 5 of the Cross Series League Racing Series starts up again. But until then, thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you again very soon.